Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Wanted to ask you guys if you could do me a favor. If you're watching these videos and checking out the channel and you like what you see, if you guys could hit the subscribe button for me, we would really appreciate that. We are working our way to trying to get monetized so that we can build bigger and better cars and more builds and so on and so forth and keep doing this. And that would help us a lot if you guys could do that for us. So that's really all I got for you. Really appreciate all of you. Stay tuned. We've got lots of cool builds coming. Lots of things starting to happen on a lot of different cars. So it won't just be the Thing. It's going to be the Thing, the 40 Ford, the Apache. There's going to be a lot of things happening. So just stay tuned, and I will try my best to get you as many videos as I can, including Don's 1957 Chevy two-door post that we're working on. There's a lot going on over there too. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for everything. We really appreciate you. Have a great night. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. This is going to be the introduction video to our good friend and neighbor, Don. His 1957 Chevy Belair two-door post. We're going to be building this car for him from this point forward. And we're going to work on it probably 6-7 days a week till it's done. And we're going to finish this car for Don. Don, so you guys know, is a really good guy. We met him when we moved into the neighborhood. He showed up one day a couple years ago, and he's been here almost every day since. Hanging out in the garage and just a cool dude. Don's a Navy vet. You know, just a really good guy. So we're going to help Don, and you know, we've been working on this car a little here, a little there, and you've probably seen that if you follow the channel at all. There's been some shorts, there's been some videos and stuff on this car, as far as we put the engine and transmission in it. What else have we done to this car? We mounted up, helped mount up the fenders, core support, all that, radiator, got it kind of dialed in. The car, it's actually a really good car. Really good car. Most of the sheet metal is new. The fenders, hood, core support, inner fenders, doors, quarters, and deck lid and Dutchman are all new. The floors were good in this car. The roof was good. But he had all that done by other people, with the exception of the Dutchman. My dad installed the new Dutchman panel in the back, and I'll show you what that is for those of you that don't know what a Dutchman is. And it's the panel between the top of the trunk lid and the rear window. It's about that wide, goes across the car, between the two quarter panels. So my dad, Big Ron, he's done some extensive work on this car as far as he painted the underneath of it. He did some rough body work to the outside, primed the car, which probably saved the car, honestly, with all the rain we've had and hurricanes and everything else. And did the Dutchman and so on. Like I said, we put the motor and tranny in it one day. And just trying to get some things right. We got the front coil springs back in the hats. You know, they weren't in right. We got them in one day. Things of that nature. But this is actually going to be the real build. This is it. So what it is, it's a 1957 Chevy two-door post Belair. It is a real 1957 Chev. It's not a reproduction body or anything like that. It does, at the moment, have the old school Chrysler SS's on it. When it's done, Don's talking about getting new Chrysler SS's. And And kind of the original plan for this was to go a matte black with the old school Kragers and just kind of make it a beat around the neighborhood kind of car. And nothing wrong with that. But I have talked Don into painting it back the original colors that it came, which is turquoise with a white roof. So you guys all know the classic color combo. So all of this will be turquoise. This will be white, right? The roof will be white. It'll have all the chrome trim. He's got new bumpers for it, grill, all of that for it. So it's going to be sharp. And so in the process of doing this, you know, there's been some talk over the past week or so with me and Don about how to build this car. So some of you may know, some of you don't know, one of the big things that I do for these builds, and I have, you know, me and my dad forever, is I design them. Okay, I'm not an artist. I don't sit here and sketch them out or something. It's in my head. But how I think it should look, right? And how I think it would be popular, and if you wanted to sell it, it would actually sell, and so on and so forth. And I think turquoise and white would be pretty good. This car is lowered, which is why it's got kind of the cool stance that you see here. It's got the CPP front suspension with the disc brakes and tubular control arms and all of that on the front. It's got a positive traction rear end. It's a 283, a snappy 283 with power pack heads. It's got a comp cams, mother thumper cam that we put in I think yesterday. It's got a double roller timing chain. It's got roller rockers. It's got the lifter set to match the cam. I think they bumped the compression up a little bit on it, and you know, it's got the decent little power pack head, so it's going to be a snappy little 283. That was professionally built by Scotty's Racing Engines here in Spring Hill, Florida. And if you don't know Scotty's Racing Engines, he's a hell of an engine builder, guys. So if you're around here, you need an engine built, go talk to Scotty. If you need to know where Scotty is, hit me up, I'll let you know. Scotty's also the one that did all the machine work on my dad's 350 and the 40 Ford and got us all the parts and everything, redid the heads and whatnot, and we assembled it because we just wanted to do something father-son kind of thing. We just wanted to build a motor together. Hadn't done it in years, and anyway, had great success with Scotty's. So that's where we're at, okay? Now, where we're going, right? The first step of this, as anything, is to make sure that the systems are right on this car before we get into any body work or paint or any of that kind of nonsense, right? So first we need to make sure it starts, runs cool, steers, stops, does all the things, right? That needs to happen first. Goes into gear, transmission works, rear end doesn't make noises, you know, all of those things, right? And if there is any issues with any of that, suspension, creaking, clanking, whatever, we need to address those immediately, get that done, right? So that's what we'll be doing starting tomorrow, really. Actually, we started on today. Today we ended up putting the timing chain cover, intake manifold, water pump, carburetor, distributor, timed it, all of that went on today. So step in the right direction. Now this car was running. He decided he wanted to swap cams. He had a Lenati Voodoo cam and it didn't have enough thump for him. So we went with the comp cam, mother thumper cam. So it should sound pretty good, actually. It does have long tube headers on it. I think they're hookers. And they're brand new and should be pretty good. So that's where we're going to start here, right? You've got CPP disc brakes in the front. You've got drum brakes in the rear. All are brand new. Everything about them is brand new. So new brake lines everywhere. New. It's got power. It's got the master cylinder and the dual master cylinder and power brake booster on the firewall, like factory. And all of the things, it should stop. Now, we might have to bleed the brakes. We might have to adjust some things, this, that, and the other. But all in all, it should stop, right? So not very worried about that. Steering, it steers pretty good so far. Getting it in and out of the garage and stuff and onto the trailer, it seems like it steers pretty relatively easy. So, and I believe it's manual steering. So, so that's good. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing, it is a column shift, automatic. He bought a B&M shifter to put on the floor, okay, floor shifter. It's got the 2-speed power glide in it. I don't want to put that on there and have a shifter on the column too and have 2 shifters. It'd be very confusing, right? So my thought process on this was to, he does have the parts needed to hook up all the linkage and everything for the shifter. So what we're going to do is get all that installed and get that column shift working, right? And not put the B&M floor shifter in. So that's kind of step one, right? That should hopefully take care of that system. Cooling, I think will be okay. He's got a brand new radiator, aluminum radiator, and hoses and water pump and all the things. It should be fine. Running, I know it runs. It ran before. It should be fine. But I don't think it's ever driven 3 feet. So that's where it gets interesting, right? But it should be really fun. And I'm going to bring all that to you guys as we do these things and take it out on, you know, test runs and whatnot, shakedown runs. You'll see this process. Now, once all that is done, the idea and the plan is to pull the doghouse off of it, basically. Pull the front fenders, inner fenders, core support, all of that out. Battery box, all of it out, okay? We're going to bed line, the Raptor bed liner and undercoat, the inside of the fenders, okay? And the inside of the inner fenders, all right? And the rear wheel wells, okay? Then we need to assemble it with all the correct foam and all the gaskets and things that go together with it. Now, those of you that know 57s and know Tri-5s, they had a tube that went from the basically the headlight area back to the firewall. He's not doing that. He did buy the delete for that, so I don't remember who he got it from, but he bought the delete kit where it's basically a block-off plate on the back of the headlight housing so that it'll actually all bolt up and work. So this is the first time doing a 50 anything Chevy, so I'm learning as I go, so bear with me. But we're going to basically take this all apart. I want to paint the entire engine bay turquoise, okay? The engine might stay orange, I don't know. But we're gonna get the engine bay, the firewall, inner fenders, all of that turquoise, core support, the turquoise, factory turquoise. And then from there, bodywork will ensue. Basically make everything fit, right? We know we're going to have a little issue on the trunk lid. We're probably going to have to do a little work on the back there. When they put the quarters on the driver's side, where the trunk lid comes down, you got the sets in there, the track, the channel. On this side, on the driver's side, it's just a little high. And we need to lower that down a little bit. So basically the trunk lid is hitting that bottom panel and not allowing the trunk to come all the way down and close, right? So it holds it up a little bit on that side. Now the other side, you got a good gap and it comes down. So just something we got to take care of. It does have a couple dents in the roof, nothing terrible. But again, front fenders are new. I mean, everything's new. So for the most part, so really not a ton of body work, right? So we're going to get this thing cleaned up, primed, and then we'll seal it. We'll paint it turquoise. We'll do base coat, clear coat. We'll put a good paint on it and get it all painted up. We'll probably, I don't know how Ron wants to do that, whether we do the roof first or the car first, but whatever, we'll figure it out. The dash, we're going to do turquoise. he has a decoded digital gauge cluster that we're going to install in it. And then I'm going to try, and Don, I know you're watching this, so I'm going to try to talk you into getting the new trim for the dash that goes across, and one of those retro modern style radios that looks like the factory radio but does Bluetooth and also does AM FM, that kind of thing. We are going to put speakers in this car. We'll get that installed, have a nice sound system in it. And yeah, I think he has a new steering wheel as well. So we'll put a new factory style steering wheel in it, which should be fun. And we'll figure out glass. We have a glass guy around the corner that's, he does have the windshield, he does have all the glass. New glass, I believe. I mean, he's got all the cat whiskers and all the garnish moldings and all that. So we'll clean those up, paint them, get them all ready to go. Have the glass guy come over, put the glass in the front and the back. I believe he's got a friend, I think his name's Anthony. He's got a 57 that just did the side windows and stuff, and he figured out how to do it pretty quick. So he's gonna come over here and help us with the side glass. It's crank windows, not a big deal. Should be simple. Yeah, I mean, the only thing he might have to do is get a headliner put in. I've never done a headliner, but it doesn't mean we won't try. And but he has a ton of parts for this. So that you know, Don has 2 of these. Okay, this is the original 57. This is the old one, as we call it. Okay, which I think might be more valuable than the other one. The other one is it's a new body and a new frame. From Real Deal Steel in Apopka, Florida. 57 Chev, 2-door, Belair post. Same exact car as you see right here. So as Don's been buying parts, Don buys parts for 2 cars. So, but we might rob Don, so you know, the really good parts that he bought for the other one and put them on here, because he already has them. And I think once this car gets painted and done, I think he's going to want to do that, right? So I think there was a point where the idea was, you know, matte black and, you know, the old school Kragers and stuff, and that was great. Just throw a seat in it and drive around the neighborhood, and, you know, it should be fine. Do burnouts. I really believe he's going to fall in love with this car. When it's all painted up, and I think he's going to want it right at the end of the day. And I know Don is the kind of person that's going to do it right at the end of the day. So we're going to do that and make sure everything works, the wipers, all the lights, the dome light inside, all the things. And we're just going to restore this car. I am hoping to have this car done by January. I don't know if that's possible, but that is my hope, to give it a couple months and try to just bang this thing out. You know, there's a lot going to happen between Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, you know, all the things, but New Year's. But I think we should be close. Don has a vast majority of the parts for one car or the other, and so that makes this a little easier. Whether he wants to put them on here or not, at least he has them, right? So now we were talking. Actually today when we unloaded it, about putting vintage air on this. Now, right as it sits right now, there's no, it had air. It's got the switches on the dash for air conditioning and stuff. I'm going to look up some options for that. I told him not to buy the serpentine belt kit. That's a couple $1,000, because why spend a couple $1,000 on a serpentine belt kit? I get it if you just got, you know, you're doing a long-term project and, you know, it's just something you want. Cool. But if we're going to spend a lot of money in a short amount of time, right? So we might as well spend it in the right places. So he can always upgrade to that if he wants, but what we're really going to go after is probably like a Bill's Hot Rod chrome style bracket that's alternator and AC. That just has regular belts like a normal car, normal old school car. And I'm gonna look and see what the air conditioning options are for this. I would love to put the one up under the dash, not the retro weird looking one that mounts there and it's got vents. The actual vintage air unit that would go where the factory one went and duct it in, like, because it has all that in it already. And maybe even might even have a switch set up that's similar to what's in this car, which would be great. And then from there, we can hook all that up too, which would be fun. So basically, that's what we're doing. We're gonna build our neighbor's 1957 Chevy two-door post-air Belair, and I am super excited about it. I think it's going to turn out way better than our neighbor Don, our buddy Don thinks, which is exciting. You know, the guy deserves it. He's been working on his car for 2 years, and you know, we just want to help push it over the finish line here, right? So he's been asking us for a year to build the car, so we're gonna do it. And honestly, it looks pretty good in here too, doesn't it? I mean, it's kind of a fun car. Maybe I should get one of these things. I don't know, but one of these in a convertible would be incredible, actually. But anyway, we're going down the rabbit hole. But that's where we're at with this. So you're going to see us from today moving forward working on this car. There will be little things here and there, like I got to put shocks on the front of the Volkswagen thing, get it aligned. I'll video that, and there'll be a thing on that. But this is going to be its own build series, okay? It'll be Don's 1957 Chevy Belair restoration. So when you go to Brown's Rod and Custom and you look under playlist, find that, boom, it'll be this car. Just like every car that we've been doing, I have playlists for all of them. I add every video to the playlist that coincides with the right car. And as you guys know, we have tons of cars. So there's no shortage of work, but it should be easy for you to find. I really think this is going to be exciting. I've wanted to build one of these since I was a kid. My dad bought one of these. He drug it in one day. It was a 283 4-speed. I believe it was green, but it was a project car, right? I mean, it ran, but it was like needed a whole restoration. And he had it for like a week and sold it. Some guy offered him stupid money for it, and he sold it. But I loved it. I thought, man, we should have built that car, you know. But so this is kind of our opportunity to do this. And to be honest, we don't care what we're building. As long as we're building something, being able to bring you guys content, and we're having fun and working on cars, so we're happy. You know. Now, the next car after this will be the 1958 Chevy Apache pickup truck, which we just got. Actually, Don gave us a big block, a 454 big block to go in there. And we're going to be doing that here after this one. So next year will be the Apache and then Don's other 57 and maybe some other stuff sprinkled in, but that's going to be the big thing. And we are in the hunt. If you have one of these and you're selling it, let me know. I am looking for a not terrible project 1965 Impala SS. Okay, 65. Not a 64, not a 66, 65 Impala SS, 2-door, hardtop that we can build for John Cole. So, which would be, what would he be to me? It's my wife's daughter's boyfriend, might as well be husband, and he's just an all-around amazing person, and we've been talking while we were on vacation, and we're going to build one of those for him. So help him do that. So if you have one of these cars, hit me up. That's kind of where we're at, guys. I hope you enjoy this build series. We are going to do everything in our power to really do this right. I'm going to have a lot of different camera angles. I think I'm getting another camera here soon too. So there's multiple cameras. and we're going to do a better job of editing and spend more time on descriptions and titles and things of that nature, so that you guys really understand what you're watching and what we're doing, and just try to get it out there to as many people as possible. So please like and subscribe if you like Tri-5s. We're about to build one that's going to be an amazing car. You're going to love it. And we're going to do it right here in our 2.5 car garage in Spring Hill, Florida, which is exciting. And we're going to paint this car in our inflatable paint booth in the driveway when the time comes. And should be pretty fun. I will bring all of that to you as well. And just like we did with the Volkswagen thing, we pretty much documented every day what we were doing one way or the other. And we'll do the same thing here. So thank you for watching Brown's Rod and Custom. We really appreciate all the support and everything that you guys give us every day. And looking forward to this one. We'll see you soon. Hope you guys enjoy this.